What if I told you the Kaaba, the holiest site in Islam, once housed 360 pagan idols, a statue of Hubal, and possibly even an image of the Virgin Mary? Sound dramatic? Keep listening. Because the Arabia that existed before Islam will surprise you. Centuries before Muhammad's message unified the Arabian Peninsula, this land was anything but united. Arabia was a patchwork of warring tribes, shifting alliances, and dozens of competing religions. No single state protected travelers. Blood feuds decided justice. Women's rights were nearly non-existent. In short, survival here required more than courage, it demanded an iron will. But what exactly was life like? How did people worship, trade, and govern themselves in a world without a central power or a shared faith? Arabia before Islam was a spiritual marketplace. Polytheism ruled. Every tribe had its own patron god or goddess. The Kaaba in Mecca acted like a spiritual shopping mall, filled with hundreds of idols from desert spirits to a supreme creator named Allah. Long before Islam, jinn, supernatural beings of smokeless fire, were feared and respected. Think of them as the original gennies, only far less Disney. Christianity and Judaism flourished in pockets. Byzantine-backed Christian tribes in the north, Jewish communities thriving in places like Yathrib, later Medina, and Najran. Small groups called Hanifs worshipped one god, claiming to follow Abraham's pure faith, rejecting idols altogether. Even Persian religions like Zoroastrianism left their fingerprints, carried by traders and soldiers. Religion wasn't just personal, it was political. The tribe's god was its identity, its insurance policy, and sometimes its excuse for war. Arabia's geography, desert and scarcity, shaped its people. Tribal life meant the Bedouin tribe was everything: family, government, and army. Loyalty to kin outweighed loyalty to any king. Blood revenge, a life for a life, kept order where no written law existed. Nomads herded camels and goats. Sedentary towns like Mecca became rich trade hubs, linking India, Africa, and the Mediterranean. Caravan routes turned desert outposts into glittering marketplaces. Inheritance passed through men. Marriages were arranged, sometimes sealed with livestock. Female infanticide, tragically, was not unknown. Yet women could own businesses in rare cases. Khadija, Muhammad's future wife, came from this tradition. Despite hardship, Arabs prized eloquence. Poets were celebrities. Their verses celebrated at annual fairs like Ukaz. A killer rhyme could win honor or spark a blood feud faster than a sword. While most Arabs lived by tribal law, a few kingdoms tried to impose order. In the south, the Sabaeans and later the Himyarites built irrigation systems and traded frankincense and myrrh. Some kings even adopted Judaism or Christianity to win foreign allies. In the north, client states of Rome and Persia like the Ghassanids and Lakhmids served as buffer zones, often raiding each other for profit. Still, none of these states united the peninsula. Bedouin raids, caravan ambushes, and endless vendettas kept Arabia in a constant low-grade civil war. Travelers joked that lawlessness was the law of the land, except it wasn't really a joke. By the 6th century, Arabia was at a tipping point. Religions competed, tribes bled each other dry. Trade routes shifted as Rome and Persia battled. People longed, perhaps without realizing it, for something to bring order. Into this chaos came a message of monotheism, equality before one God, and the promise of unity, a message we now know as Islam. But here's the twist. The roots of Islam grew directly out of the soil of that chaotic, multi-faith Arabia. Without the idolatrous Kaaba, the poetry, the trade routes, and the fierce independence of Bedouin life, Islam might never have spread at all. Historians from Greek chroniclers to modern scholars confirm this vibrant picture. Archaeology in Yemen uncovers vast irrigation systems proving advanced engineering. Ancient Roman records describe Arab mercenaries fighting in imperial armies, and the Quran itself repeatedly references the Age of Ignorance, confirming customs like female infanticide and tribal vendettas. This isn't speculation, it's a well-documented reality. Why should you care now? Because echoes of this pre-Islamic Arabia still shape today's Middle East, its trade routes, tribal politics, and even the Arabic language itself. Miss these roots and you miss half the story of the modern Arab world. Imagine walking through Mecca in the year 500. You dodge camel caravans like rush hour traffic, haggle over frankincense prices, and maybe, just maybe, offer a prayer to a god whose name you can't pronounce, and you thought your local mall was chaotic. When Islam emerged in the 7th century, it didn't fall from the sky into a vacuum. It absorbed, challenged, and transformed everything you've just heard. It took the Kaaba, cleansed it of idols, and kept it as the spiritual center. It ended blood feud justice, replacing it with a universal law. It raised the status of women compared to many tribal norms. And it united a people who had never before been united. Understanding the world before Islam isn't just history, it's the prologue to one of humanity's greatest cultural revolutions. If this journey through ancient Arabia surprised you, imagine what else we'll uncover in future episodes. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and like this video so you don't miss the next deep dive into the hidden corners of world history.